We're filming.
Yo, so here's the deal. I had an idea to film a before and after restoration of a gun that I did. It's a Winchester 1895. It was manufactured in 1899, 30-40 Craig. Now, before anybody gets mad about this, it was an absolute beater of a rifle. I actually had to manufacture a new barrel for it. Do have machinist experience. Been working as a hobbyist gunsmith for a little bit. Not Doug Turnbull or anything, but it's just kind of cool. I wanted to film this before and after to see like all the detail of what you can do. You don't need to be a super professional like do some of this stuff, and like a lot of these old guns out here really don't have any collector value like this one. I do have a before picture of it, and then we'll have the after, but the before is that looked like this. Okay, so and also this video I'm going to be doing, so this is kind of an idea we just started, so unfortunately I'm kind of like a little over halfway through with this already. As you can see, so I have this over here. We've already kind of made the stock for it. You can match it up and everything. In the future, I'd like to do a little more in detail video about how we actually got to like from a square piece of walnut basically to a stock. Also, obviously a little more in detail of the metalworking. Show you guys the barrel that I manufactured next. There's a couple small parts I had to make for it. I had to make an extractor for this thing and everything too. We can go through that later. I'll be showing some of the machines and stuff I used to make that. And then later on down the road we'll go through the whole bluing process and everything, and hopefully it turns out really good.
Time to tie up his hair and get to work. Oh! Bob's got a couple of different workspaces. He's got this over here, and he's also got this over here.
So, one of the bad things about these old guns like this is their lack of maintenance or cleaning, or you just never know. Sometimes the barrel is completely useless, shot out. I spent a lot of time, so this is the original barrel. And I went to go take the gun up to the range after buying it. It couldn't hit the broadside of the barn. Okay, I took it home, cleaned it and everything, and then I did the old slug test where you take a soft lead ball and you pound it down safely through the muzzle. And what happened was I got to about here, and it just fell down almost dang near to the breech. And yeah, I can kind of tell that it was a lost cause at that point. But usually when a gun's like that and the barrel's shot out, I usually sell them just because it's a lot of work to make a new barrel. However, Winchester 1895s are extremely rare. They're hard to come across, so when you do come across one, usually they're extremely expensive. The only reason I actually bought or kept this one is because I got it for such a good deal. But this is the new barrel that I manufactured for it, and after making this one, instead of hitting the broadside of the barn, this thing is what you would call a tick licker. Just made it of angle gun at 100 yards. It's just awesome. But I'll go over and I'll show you the lathe that I used to make this and a couple of different tools that I used, and yeah, good times.
Hey Bob, you got a message for the kids?
Yes, for operating power tools, always wear your proper safety gear. The Packers.
Then we traveled to my old high school to show you the equipment I used.
So this is the lathe that I used to make the barrel on. Really good fun time. It's a good old school craftsman commercial. So everything's kind of like under construction a little bit right now. Everything's getting moved around. So by the time I'll come and show you like a lot of the other equipment I used to make the extractor on and all that. And yeah.
So what's the first thing you do when you work on a machine like this?
Crack a beer.
This here is me chambering the barrel for the cartridge for 30-40. Just taking a reamer here and making very slow passes and just pushing it in and basically just cutting away material to fit the casing. So what I'm doing now is, after chambering the barrel, is the use of what's called a go gauge and a no-go gauge. So a go gauge is to make sure if the action can close and the trigger be pulled and it be fired. It's made to a very exact specification for safety reasons and checking to make sure you don't have like excessive headspace or anything, which is what the no-go gauge is supposed to measure. So a no-go gauge is, as it sounds too, no-go. If your action closes on a no-go gauge and you're still able to pull the trigger, your gun's was called out of headspace, and that can be very dangerous. But the big reason why excessive headspace is very dangerous, or can be very dangerous, is when it would go off, or the cartridge go off, you would allow possibly too much gas to either rupture the casing itself and allow for that to come back at you. It wouldn't create like a perfect absolute seal, and obviously when you're dealing with pressures of 45, 50,000 psi, any gas coming back at you is not ideal. All right, well here we are. Test fire with proof load. Okie dokie. All right, we're proof load testing. See this super awesome setup? Safety first. All right. And got a hole in the dirt. Appears to be fine. Kill. And right now what you're watching is bluing the firearm. It's just a whole lot of patience and yeah, just converting red rust into black rust.
So, and here we are, the final product of the long, hard little restore. So yeah, shoots straight, shoots good, didn't blow up. Alright.